Alright, so this updated digital prototype is supposed to demonstrate the variability of the storyline based on your actions. So instead of having them play through Act 1, I just have the player in this prototype pick whether they want to assist the secret society, which we do, and what quadrant that they play in. And this assumes that they play in that quadrant for the entirety of Act 1. The one we have, the quadrant that we have filled the most amount of detail in is idle. The other ones are less filled. So we pick idle. And like I said, this assumes that for all four parts of Act 1, you consistently were a champion. If you actually didn't do it like that, this prologue would still be consistent, and it would look like this. But that's beside the point. We're assuming that we played like a champion the entire time. And so what happens in the prologue is the first part is a flashback with you and Agnar, the first king of Nijomsburg. Their first meeting with him, where you collapsed in a snowstorm and wake up in his cabin. And since you're a champion, when Agnar asks you what an ideal society would look like, you say, "Oh, one where everyone has a place, and everyone can live out their dreams." In the second act, it's like the golden years of Nijomsburg, and Dyer realizes that Agnar is doesn't have the same ideals as him. He does an example of all four of the different quadrants decisions, and because you're a champion, you question Agnar's actions for being too ruthless, which are the vigilante and devil ones that he does. In the third one, you finally realize that you can't support him anymore, and in this case, it's because every criminal that comes into the chambers to be judged is charged to the fullest extent of the law, no matter what they are. And Dyer's like, "You're too obsessed with punishing criminals," because he's a champion. And finally, what changes in the fourth one is, what happens in the fourth one is you are finally almost about to overthrow Agnar's reign, and you get trapped by someone. And Agnar, because he's your friend, shoots him to keep you alive, but ends up dying in the process. And the last thing that Agnar asks you is to tell him, really, what kind of society you think is ideal. And since you played as a champion, you say, one where everyone has a place, a society where people can live out their dreams. The same thing you said in the first part. And so, since we assisted, this is now the second act. We've seen all the prologue, we picked what happened in the first act, and this is the second act. You are a champion. Your ward is either a champion or an angel, because he starts out in the angel quadrant. And your nemesis is a vigilante. Now, because all these four variables are all that is needed to generate the entirety of the rest of the story, besides, of course, the last decision that you make. And it's important to note that you really don't make many decisions in this one. You kind of just watch as it plays out. And so, since you're assisting the society, you're kind of acting contradictory, but you're doing it maybe because you don't want Ward to die, because they've threatened him. And so you're trying to keep him away from this, but since you've trained him to always go and arrest the criminals and, be a champion, he investigates on his own and finds a lead on the actions that you've been trying to keep secret. And so in the second one, the police end up showing up to this event that you were supposed to keep them away from. And you didn't know about it, and Ward was kind of leading the thing. And what happens is the society has to shoot their way out, and a lot of people end up dead, including a lot of your friends. And Ward is traumatized by that. He's always traumatized. Then in the third act, when he comes back from being okay, when he is allowed to be on the force again, he becomes your partner, and you think, oh, he's not going to do that again, but he's still investigating. And so he, on one of his journeys, sees Arnþórr, who in this version, since he's a vigilante, he's not part of the secret society. He is a vigilante, and so Arnþórr says, "Hey, I'm on your side," but Ward doesn't believe him, so he beats him up, takes his weapons away, and ties him up. But what happens is one of the leaders comes back of the society and kind of kills Ward, which is the main tragedy of the game, and it's like the climax. And so Dyer, enraged by Ward's death and convinced by the secret society, since he's partners with them, that Arnþórr killed him, vows vengeance. And when he discovers that Arnþórr is the son of Agnar, he knows exactly where to find him. What happens is Arnþórr tells him the truth and tries to convince him to join his side and take down the secret society, since he's a vigilante. And you have the choice to either kill him, which is the devil option, arrest him, champion option, join him, vigilante option, or let him escape, which is the angel option. And these change for each different path, but I didn't implement them all. And I've only implemented actually kill. But what should happen is, if you since you're the champion, right? If you pick the champion option, then you get a good ending. And if you pick the vigilante option, you get a bad ending. If you pick either the other ones that aren't diametrically opposed to your quadrant, you get kind of a neutral ending where it just kind of like nothing really changes. And so what happens if you pick kill? The secret society wins, since he was the vigilante going against them. And if you were a champion, then this option gives you the neutral ending, where Dyer fades away in obscurity. If you're an angel, it gives you the bad ending, where he's killed, and the secret society wins. Because, like, and if you're a devil, then this gives you the good ending, and the society that is ended up created by the secret society is one without bureaucracy, where you're in control of everything. This is the great option. If you played as a devil the entire time and pick the devil option, you get the best ending. And if you're a vigilante and you pick this option, then it gives you the other neutral ending, where you continue to have to be a vigilante because the new society is still ridden with crime. In this angel option, you kill. The reason you're killing him in this one isn't because you're staying on the side of the secret society. In this option, if you killing him means that you kind of want vengeance for Ward, but you realize that he's right and that the secret society is horrible, but you end up dying fighting against them. So if we look at what this looks like, this represents the entire Act 1, and these four are all the prologues, which this is the pure vigilante route, this is the pure angel route, and this is the pure devil route. We already went through this one, but all four of these are implemented as well. And this is the erratic one. And so what that ends up doing is, because there's two choices here and four different personalities, there's four different Act 2s for each choice. And like I said, only this to this and this to this are implemented currently. And and in this case, I will just go briefly through this one. If you pick continue to investigate their crimes, then you get this option, in which you get this version of Act 2, in which you and Ward are still trying to oppose the secret society, and because you're actually helping Ward this time, you go and try and stop their plot, which you've discovered. But since there's a leak of information, they already know that, and and since Arnþórr is the leader of the secret society in this version, he is the one that causes Ward to kind of be. Oh, he always causes Ward to be visibly distraught, but he instead of trying to stop the secret society, he's the one on TV brutally torturing the politician to admit his crimes against humanity. And instead of him beating Arnþór up and leaving him full of wolves, he actually kills him because he's the leader of the society and Ward doesn't want to join him, so he just kills him. And the way this is constructed, you still end up confronting Arnþór in the same place. You still end up doing that, but since he's part of the secret society, he tries to convince you to join him in making the world a better place, just like his father would have wanted. And this is constructed in that all these four actions correspond to the same quadrant as the other one. And so if you decide to kill him, then the law wins and secret society is crushed. And like the other option, if you were a devil the entire time and you picked this devil option, then it gives you the good ending, where the secret society is crushed, Dyer becomes a national hero, and the society of his dreams actually just ends up forming around him, and he didn't even have to take control. This digital prototype is supposed to demonstrate that we can make a narrative that has the same narrative flow no matter how you play it, but is dynamic to the player choices, and the player has freedom to play exactly how they want.